Now, in this particular whatever the CMA case study program, right, with the 14 hours discussion, now we are going to discuss what business canvas model GST. That means 2026 February. Right, we will go through our analysis. Now you see, even though you see this one as whatever the lengthy discussion, no, that is not there because I have categorized them under whatever the various topic in a way that you can understand this one easily. Right. Okay. I'm not going to talk about this. I'm not going to waste your time. Right. Within very whatever the short time or period, I will complete this one. Right. Okay. Now you see, when it comes to business canvas model, what you're going to do first, you need to identify the business structure first. That is a basic requirement, right? Now you have almost analyzed the case. No? Now you have analyzed the case. You have watched right more than 40 hours videos, and you have a fair understanding about right what is the nature of the businesses, what are the divisions of the businesses, mainly transport division and the distribution divisions, and then try to highlight current issues also. That means you have a list now. What are the issues faced by the organization now? I have categorized few of them, right? Please go to the analysis at some point here, right? Don't waste your time filling up this particular whatever the diagram or whatever. What you are going to do is you need to remind whatever the knowledge you learn, whatever the analysis we did in the classroom, and add more to here, right? I have highlighted here lean capital structure also, right? I think case study is with you. I think better if you keep the case study with you if you are watching this video, right? Video or whatever we are referring, then it will be very easy for you to go through this one, right? Okay, now we are going to discuss business canvas model. Now, as I told you, identify the current issues, right? What are the issues you identified? Firstly, you see lean capital structure. Now, we have already identified lean capital structure. Cash flow pressures is also there because currently the business is running out of money. That means they do not have any reserves, right? Ultimately, they are unable to obtain bank loans as well because they are under pressure, right? Audited financial statements also not available. But you know those story, right? Because at last minute, based on the request from you, then I started to discuss with the whatever the business model. Now, please take those knowledge to here as well, right? Now you see underutilized TD capacity. That is a place where you talk about whatever the transfer pricing and the interdivisional whatever the synergies. Then the working capital constraint in whatever the distribution division. That is a place where you discuss what cash conversion cycle. I think you remember. Then the leadership gap at the strategic level. Right. This is what first of all you need to identify. First of all, the business nature, not only the structure, business nature, what they are doing, what is the current stages of this one. That means at the moment you have done SWOT analysis, pestle analysis, right? Porters, why forces, and a lot of analysis you have done related to the business. Then you have a fair understanding about the business. Then try to highlight the issues. I explained that one also. Then we will move to the whatever the business canvas model. You see, when it comes to the business canvas model, this is kind of building blocks, right? You can see some building blocks here, right? 9 blocks under 9 headings. You need to analyze the business. Now, let's say this is not kind of a filling of this particular building blocks. You need to don't interpret in the examination as well. Now, just see, right? What is the purpose of this business canvas model? Is it is kind of a picture. That means, on the picture means visual presentation about the business. What is the current status of the business? Now you have analyzed this particular 15 pages, therefore I'm not going to talk about them. But mainly we are going to do here one key partnership, key activities, key resources, cost and revenue. We will start from the revenue and cost. Revenue streams mean how you make money, how you earn money. To earn money, what you are doing. Then the cost structure says that one. What are the major costs involved in your business? Then you need to see that one whether it is controllable or not. If it is controllable, only you can control each and every cost. As a management accountant or whatever, you cannot control, right? You can control cost, but it should be controllable cost. Now here you are going to the revenue stream and see, this is my revenue. Then you need to go through here the cost structure. Then you need to see to earn money, what you are going to do, you need to deliver, right, your product and services to your customers. First of all, customer segments also. Now you are identifying your customer segments as well, right? Whom you are serving, because they are the people who getting your services, product and services. Then channel means how you are going to deliver the service, right? Anyway, in your businesses, you need to give whatever the superior value to your customers, right? Customers, how you are going to deliver that particular value. That means what is the medium, the model that you are going to use. Simply, what is the channel that you are going to use to deliver that particular service to your customers. You see the relationship of this. Then the customer relationship. When you are giving services to your customers, you need to maintain what good relationship. Good is not good actually. The proper word is long term profitable relationship you must be able to maintain with your customers. That means customer relationship means how you are going to react with your customers. Very simple. Then you see value proposition. That means you are supposed to give, you must actually not supposed to, you must give superior value to your customers. Then how you are going to give that particular value addition to your customers? Right, that is the value, the proposition. And simply we have discussed value chain analysis as well, then you can support those answers here as well, but in the examination, okay, I will tell you that one later. Then key resources. Now you know you want to generate your revenue, you have cost, right? Then you have that means you have your target market, that means the mass market. You are divided into whatever the segments based on the similar characteristic, those are known as customer segment. Then you are going to deliver your service, you are going to select what kind of a mode that you are going to use to deliver your service to your customers. Then when you are delivering the service, that means ultimately you have to satisfy, right, by giving a superior value and value proposition to your customers. You need to maintain profitable long term relationship with customers. You need to understand that. Then what key resources also available, right? Key resources also available. Key resources in the sense what you have, what are the assets that you have to deliver that particular value to customer. Then what resources also, now we have categorized them into two categories: threshold and unique. Now you need to link those here. Key resources. You need to, first of all, you need to identify what are the key resources of the business. Then key activities. What are the key activities in the sense what you must perform well when you are achieving your goals and objective, right? Kind of a business activities, right? In your day-to-day business, no? You need to do some business activities also. No? Then we need to do that particular thing, but you need to perform them well. Otherwise, what? Ultimately, your business is done and dusted. Then the key partnership. Then what do you mean by the key partnership, right? Who supports you in providing this particular service? Because you cannot, yourself, right? That means you cannot, that means you are not, in simply, you are not self-sufficient. Because you cannot, actually, you do not have each and everything that you want to deliver this particular service. You need to go to the market and you need to purchase what you don't have. Then suppliers are there, right? Vehicle maintainers, spare parts, right? Whatever the goods and services you need to purchase from your suppliers, then they need to perform well. Those are the key partnership, right? Those are the things you are going to talk about in the business model canvas. Now remember, separately you have learned now, no? Separately you have learned this key partnership, key activities, key resources, cost structure, revenue streams, channels, and whatever the customer relationship and customer segments. Now you have analyzed and you have learned. Here what you are going to do is you need to identify why people are talking about this particular business canvas model. Now this is kind of a picture, that means visual presentation of the business, right? This is kind of an image, that means a picture, that means you are going to draw this particular visualized presentation in a, let's say, piece of a paper. Then by looking at the paper you have a holistic picture of the business. These are the revenue streams, these are the cost structure. Then you identify some issues as well. What are the issues? Now when it comes to, when we are seeing the balance sheet and the P&L, the business is profitable. Even though profitable, the business is profitable, some whatever the problems can be there in whatever, let's say, trade receivable, right? That means the credit control is not good. Credit control in the sense what? Recovery. That means credit risk is there. You need to focus on that point as well. Then key partnership. Okay, that this is how we are going to discuss in the classroom. Wait a minute, right? I will come up with the Now, okay, now all people are they are in the class now. Now there is no difficulty in joining the class. No, I think majority is they are in the classroom. Right, I am receiving some calls. Link දෙකක් දාලා නැහැ එකයිනේ දාලා තියෙන්නේ නේද? Right, now I think all are okay. I will go through with this one. Otherwise, it will be whatever time wasting. I do not like to take much time from your end because tomorrow morning you are going to sit for the examination. Now, this is the business model canvas, right? What I was explaining is here. Now, first of all, you need to identify key partnership, key activities, key resources, cost structure, and all things. Then, what you're going to do, you need to identify the strength and weaknesses. When it comes to revenue stream, you need to identify your strength and weaknesses. When it comes to customer segment, you need to identify your strength and weaknesses. Not only that, thirdly, what you're going to do is you need to identify the strategic alignment between these core areas, right? These one, that means ultimately when you are achieving your goals and objectives, let's say revenue stream is performing very well, but cost structure is so bad. What will happen to the business? You cannot succeed in the market. That is why you need to see the strategic alignment as well. After identifying the strategic alignment, now as I told earlier, you need to identify then what are the issues and risk is in the business. That means what are the issues and the risk in the business. Now you identify that one as well. Then first of all you identify the business model, then you identify the strength and weaknesses, then you see the strategic alignment with these whatever the 9 areas. After that you are identifying issues and risk management. That means risk that the currently business is facing. After that you need to redesign the business model. That means whatever the improvement you should make on this particular business canvas model. That is what you are going to do under this particular business canvas model. If this is tested in your examination, please draw this particular diagram in the whatever the examination. That means whatever the workbook in the sense of the whatever the script is, answer script is given, no? And in the answer script you need to draw this one because this is a visual presentation. Explaining whatever the explaining this one is also enough, but please draw this one on your whatever the answer script, right? Sometimes each and everything you cannot write, right? Because a very small space is there, no? Whatever the space is, that means this kind of whatever the paper is the A4 sheet. That means you are divided into 9 areas. That means space is very less. Then you can give a reference to the note. For example, let's say you are going to say key partners. And the key partners, you are going to say that one, note number 1. Then key partners, then you can explain. Right? That is how we are going to do this one in your examination. Right. Now, channels also available. You see, they have given the channels in our analysis 3. In analysis 3, we identified that what are the main channels, that most suitable channels that we can use. Here we identified. Right. Okay. With this one, I think this is what business model canvas. Right. Canvas is not just filling up this one. Now I told you that one. Identifying these areas, then identify the strength and weaknesses, then strategic alignment in those core areas. Then what you are going to do? You need to identify inefficiencies in these particular areas. As I told you earlier, when it comes to the profitability, business is profitable, no? Any business, when it comes to the balance sheet and P&L, you cannot see whatever they are facing losses. They are suffering from losses. They are earning profits. But even though they are earning the profits, sometimes the receivable aspect is not good. Why? Trade receivable, working capital pressure is there in the business. Then you need to look at that one. Right. Okay. With this particular case also, I will be highlighting whatever the relevant areas. Right. We will now. I will tell you why this is important to GST. Okay, that is there in the case study, no? Right. Okay. Now we will analyze the case first, no? Then and there I will be explaining. Now you see, then you have a good understanding. Now customer segment. We need to go to the customer segment. Under the customer segment, wait a minute. Okay, now okay. You see, under transport division, you can identify construction companies, importers, large retailers, industrial client, infrastructure project contractors. Those are the whatever the customer segments that you can identify under transport division. Then the distribution division, wholesalers and retailers are there under the SBUs, right? Bulk buyers and the small and medium outlets also available, right? First of all, we need to identify the customer segment. Customer segment is who are serving. That means to whom that you are going to serve, right? You are going to sell your product and services to whom? Then these people. This is your customer segments. Now you identify that. Now when we are going to analyze in this, what we are going to do? I told you, first of all, we are going to see, identify, then identify the strength and weaknesses, right? You will see the under strength, diversified B2B customer base, right? Strong historical brand credibility. Under SWOT analysis also you have learned them, right? Pressure in growth sectors, right? Sorry, presence in growth sectors, construction and retail distribution. Those are given in the case study. You can simply refer, not refer, right? Or you have already learned them. You need to remind them, this is how it works, right? Because you have analyzed this. Then weaknesses, DD retail, highly credit dependent. No doubt on this, no. Highly credit dependent. Working capital pressures are there. No structured segmentation strategy. We cannot clearly say that on strategic, that means structured segment strategy. Then last one, no value, like value based pricing differentiation. Now in the, and I think if I'm not mistaken, analysis 2, we discuss pricing, right? Pricing, what is the best pricing method also. Now no value based pricing differentiation as well. Then please go through our analysis and add more here. Yes, this is for you to add more thing here, because now you have analyzed, right? We have completed. Then you can go through the analysis and add more here, right? Because at last minute I am not going to consume, right, more than 1 hour. Within 30 minutes, it is 45 minutes we will end in this particular class, right? Okay, now you see the value proposition also, right? How you are going to give what are the superior value to your customers under transport division: reliable fleet, long standing reputation, construction transport capability, operational experience. Then the DD, when it comes to the product availability, distribution network access, retailer relationship focus, and market reach. Those are the things that you need to discuss on the value proposition. How you are going to give a superior value to your customers. That's all. Then when it comes to the strength and weaknesses, you see heritage brand. No doubt on that one. Heritage brand. They have what I think third generation now, right? More than 75 years. I think if I'm not mistaken, it started. Yes, 1960. 1960 in the sense now, let's say 40 years. Yes, 1950, that means 75 years ago they have started. Then establish industry trust. Now the case study itself says that one, they have established network, good network. Then the vertical knowledge also, transport plus distribution insight, right? While you are doing transportation, then you are going to the distribution as well. Then you see the weaknesses, no differentiated service offering, right? That is why we selected and the Porter's five forces and the Bowman strategic cost. What is the competitive strategies? Differentiation focus. I think you may remember. Then no digital logistic capability. That is why we learned digital roadmap, right? How we are going to implement the digital roadmap in the business. Then price driven rather than value driven positioning, right? Then weaknesses, that means they are going to focus on the whatever the pricing, but not the value driven positioning, right? Positioning in the sense you are going to create a unique place in your consumer's mind, customer's mind. How you are going to do this one, right? That is also we discuss in the classroom, right? Let's say GST currently competes mainly on availability and relationship, not on innovation and superior service differentiation. Now you know, now you have a lot of answers for this particular question, right? Why you selected differentiation strategy in the business, right? Focus on leadership strategy is operational, not a strategic. Now when it comes to this one, now when it comes to this particular GST business, right? Leaders of two business divisions, transport and distribution, they are focusing on operational activities, not focusing on what? Strategic, right? That those are also we learned, and first analysis we learned that particular leadership analysis as well, right? Transactional analysis, right? Now channels, you see when it comes to the channels, let's say direct sales, trade network, chamber of commerce visibility, personal networks of directors. Those are the channels that you are currently using. Even though this is given like this kind of a product line, right? I think you cannot see that one based on my whatever the background, but anyway, in this page, those channels are there: producers to consumer, producer, retailer, consumer. Likewise, you learn. Then weaknesses also: no digital ordering platform, right? We discussed. No fleet tracking customer portal. I think you may remember we discussed, right? Real time tracking, right? GPS, right? Telecast. You know this one? No data driven customer management. No, that is also not there. Customer real time order tracking is not there. Now I told you that on the Pizza Hut also, right? You can learn, right? You can track the order when you are the customer. You can track the order. Then channels are relationship based, not system based. So those are the relationship. That is why strength also we learned that on right. They have established brand. They are going to serve only them. They are not going for market development. When it comes to ANSOP metrics, we learn right what we learn. The best method is what? The market development. Right. Now use the customer relationship also. You see current model, credit-based loyalty. I think you may remember in this particular case study, marketing manager, page number 11 is the marketing manager of this section is against reduction of credit terms, right? That was discussed at one management meeting and instead even recommending granting a small percentage as a cash discount. You see, that is what it says. Credit based loyalty. Then the personal relationship, informal trust network, right? We cannot trust them, no, because we, even though well established network is also there, people can move here and there because we are not offering a superior value to them. Definitely they are leaving us. So you need to think that. Then monthly SBU profit based incentives. We talk about lot here. Monthly SBU profit based incentives. Profit after tax 5%. Then we have recommended what is the best method when it comes to what? Monthly SBU profit based incentives. The weaknesses also. Over reliance on credit terms. No doubt on that one because they have utilized their retained earnings when distributing whatever the family wealth among members. Then no CRM system, no customer relationship management system in the business. Then no loyalty programs with structured ROI, return on investment. We cannot see. Then no differentiation between high and low value customers. Right. First of all, you need to understand what who are the profitable customers. Right. Sometimes customers can be there in the business but loss making. Right, you need to focus on profitable customers under ABC costing. When I was discussing ABC costing, I told you how you are going to do the customer profitability analysis as well. Right, you see retail receivables remain high, cash conversion cycle problem, right? That is a big problem when it comes to customer relationship. Retail receivable remain high, credit risk is high, right? Then cash conversion cycle problem. Now you have calculated cash conversion cycle and we have identified that they are facing critical problems in the business. Okay, that is what we are analyze. You see, same thing. Almost you have learned them, but unfortunately your mind says that one. We learned them, but not the name under business canvas model. This is a business canvas model, right? Okay, we will complete this one. Don't worry, I will be giving time to you. Ask any question from this particular analysis. All thing I will be giving. Then I will be explaining why businesses are using this particular business canvas as well, right? Okay, then you see the revenue stream. I told you that on how to make money. If someone asks you what is your business model? They ask you what? How you are making money? Then, for example, let's say TD, hiring income, commercial and construction vehicle, they are going to hire them and earn money. That is your revenue stream. Now, when it comes to the distribution division, margin on wholesale and retail distribution, they are going to do the wholesale and retail distribution. Then, let's say from financial analysis, you see transport division profitability improved in 2025, GP growth, right? You have identified small slight gain. Then the whatever the DT, gross profit decline, right? Margin compression. Let's say company profit after tax increase, but cash flow remains tight, overdraft fully utilized. Remember, this is what you need to understand in the business model. The same picture. This is not like filling up the canvas, huh? Right? Meva tamai activity tika, meka tamai resources tika, not like that. Right? Eka fill karne ka neveyi, fill kala chitrayak andine ka neveyi. You need to understand them and you need to take into the picture. That is all. The picture in the sense, the visual presentation. Right? Visual presentation. Cash flow remain tight. Cash flow problems are they are facing. Then the overdraft also fully utilized. That means they cannot find short-term what? Financing method. Very difficult to find. Then on the other hand, cash flow remain tight because the whatever the data collection period is high. Right? That is what you need to understand. When the data collection period is high, that means credit risk is there. When the credit risk is there, that means what you are unable to collect them. Then you are facing working capital problem as well. මෙන්න මේක තමයි ඔය map එකෙන් කරන්නේ. වෙන මොකක්වත් නෙවෙයි. Right? Weaknesses also we identify. No diversified revenue stream. Diversify වෙලා නැහැ කොතනකවත්. මෙච්චරමයි කියන්නේ. Right? Then no value added services. No value added services. I told you that one when you are going for whatever the fishery, then you need to maintain the frozen as well. Perishable item, right? Then you need to have a separate vehicle to transport them. separate whatever the warehouse facility to store them in your business. You need to focus on that. That is the place where you are going to give a value to them, right? Then high working capital tied in receivables. So remember, that means you are blindly, you are going to sell. One thing I remember, sometimes they are asking over trading, right? Over trading also, they can ask what is meant by over trading, and then and there, then you can write down these answers. Huh? Right. Now you can move to the key resources. Don't worry, I will be quickly finish it off because I want to release you, right? Because you have a set of plan on your whatever the mind, then you need to go through that, right? This is the additional scenario. Now you see when I am discussing this particular analysis, all of them we discuss in the classroom. Nothing new to you. All of them we discuss, but the new thing is the model, the business canvas model, right? When the examiner is asking for the business canvas model, sometimes you will miss those things, but now you are going to take into that particular all analysis into single picture, that means visual presentation. Now we'll go to the key resources, right? Fleet of vehicles, warehousing, brand reputation, divisional SBU structure, experience, financial control at the Dilantha, then the banking relationship also. Then better if you can divide these into unique and threshold resources, as we discussed in the classroom. Then simply divide them. These are the unique, these are the threshold. Threshold means what? To run the day-to-day operations, those are very essential. Without having them, you can run the business. But what is the unique resources? That is the place where you are going to gain competitive advantage. Those are very unique, right? Very unique resources. You must have that particular unique resources. You can just divide it into this, but when it comes to the business model, key resources identification is more than enough. But to show your ability to the examiner, please divide it into threshold resources and unique resources. Right. Then weaknesses, overdraft dependency, lean capital structure, weak financial system historically. Weak financial system, what? Audited financial statements are also not available for 2 years. Then how you are going to, how the bank is also going to rely on your business performance, financial performance? That is a big problem. Then underutilized fleet capacity and leadership skill gap at a strategic level. But what do you talk about this particular strategic leadership? They have whatever the business strategic cohesion is not there. Why the strategic cohesion is not there? When it comes to this particular case study, you can see even though you have transport division and distribution division, they must follow same strategy because those are under same business under GST, not a separate two businesses, right? That is why we talk about business synergy, how they are going to make synergies between two divisions, because that is the place where they are going to work under single the same whatever the strategy, same picture, same prioritization, and same value, right? I think that is. Yeah, I'm unable to whatever find it out, right. Okay, anyway, I will tell you, right. Weak financial system historically is also there. Now you see, after identifying these weaknesses, you need to what? You need to implement strategies to whatever, to reduce, eliminate these weaknesses. That is called redesign of the business, right? Then you see the key first of all, we will complete these things. Huh? Key activities. Now you see the key activities: transport operations, right? Distribution, logistic, inventory management. That is why we talk about ABC analysis, because they do not have scientific inventory analysis system. Then we adopted ABC analysis. Then the credit management. Then that is why we learned EAR, right? EAR, effective annual rate, right? Then we are granting discount and collecting money earlier. Then budgeting and monthly profit after tax monitoring. That means the budgeting also should be there and the profit after monitoring also there, right? When it comes to the budgeting also, we learn, no, we discuss on the separate whatever the headline, right? A separate topic, which budgeting concept is more suitable to GST. Now this is time to remind them. I'm not going to talk about entire 40 hours here within whatever the 1 hour, let's say 1 hour. Within 1 hour, I'm not going to talk about all things, right? Now you have analyzed them. Now understand how we are going to do this. Then the weaknesses you identify: no ABC inventory system, weak receivable management, divisional silos are there, because the divisional itself they have isolated from the main business. They are focusing, they are leaders also focusing on what? Operational efficiency, not the strategic leadership, not giving the visionary leadership to the business. We talk these things in the classroom. Huh? Then the incentives tied only profit after tax. Then we learn, encourage short termism. Then we learn, right, how balance scorecard is involving when we are going to set up this whatever the key performance indicators in the business, right? For example, let's say capacity utilization is 60%. You can increase that one up to 85%. 85%. Then what I'm going to say, you can establish a key performance indicator, the fleet utilization. Based on the fleet utilization, you are giving intensives. Then automatically it will become practice in the business. They are trying their maximum to what? Increase the fleet utilization. That means the capacity utilization, right? We learn them. Just link here, right? Without learning them, you cannot take it into the business canvas model. Now, after learning this one, let's say, is there any new thing here? No. You can add more thing. I am not going to say these are the only thing limited to this. No, right? In the business hours, I also now only I came, right? Now I came home and I have too much of work, right? In the working environment also, right? Then I will be managing my time to give you this particular value addition, right? Therefore you can add the take the analysis and add more here, right? But it doesn't mean that this is incomplete. Remember that if you can use this one as it is, that is far better, right? Then the key partnership, banks, right? Who help, who supports you running the business. That is the key partnership. That's all, right? Banks, right? I prioritize it as bank, right? Because you are facing financial problems. You do not have retained earnings and whatever the reserves, right? අර දුක්ගී කියන්නේ එකම දෙවියා මට උඹ විතරයි වගේ මේ banks විතරයි. Then you need to go with the banks. When you are going to the banks as well, what you are going to do? But audited financial statement is also not available. When it comes to the bank is evaluating the business financial performance based on the audited financial statement, right? We discussed that particular risk as well. Then the importers, retailers, those are the people who are doing the business in the country, right? That is why the DD division is doing service, providing services to them, retailers and whatever the importers. Unfortunately, exporters we cannot take here. You can add that one also after writing these things. Then the contractors are there when it comes to constructions. Then the chamber of commerce also available, right? You need to remember. Then weaknesses, right? We'll see banks now cautious. Banks now cautious. Now you know the reason. I'm not going to explain it again and again. Now strategic alliances, no strategic alliances at all in the business. Then no long-term contract secured. Then no logistic technology partnership. We discuss about the partnership as well. No, I told you that under the southern province, when you are going for a new market, the southern province, right? Sometimes 2-3 customers are there, but you are not going to start up with another warehouse to serve them. Then the southern province also people are there. For example, Arun is there in the southern province. The Prabhani is there in the western province. Now Prabhani is operating only in western province. Arun is there in whatever the southern province. Now Prabhani may have, right? Let's say Prabhani has a few customers in southern province as well. When providing services to them, Prabhani can come with agreement with whatever the Aruni. Please provide these facilities to my customers. Why? Under your name, under Prabhani's name, that beautiful market presence is there in the southern province as well, without no cost. We discuss about this particular strategic partnership as well. Not only that one, because we are maintaining the vehicle fleet, we need the spare parts, right? The spare parts. Some of the fuel, who is providing fuel to run the vehicles. Those also is strategic partnership. Add more here, right? පුළුවන් තරම් උපරිම ඇඩ් කරන්න ඇනලිසිස් එකෙන් අරගෙන මේ බිස්නස් එක කරගෙන යන්න අපිට උදව් වෙන කට්ටිය, right? වාහනේ මේන්ටේන් කරන අපේ තියෙනවා මොනවාද technical equipment, right? Maintenance and the after sale services also they are providing whatever the technical team. Those also we need to consider, right? Okay. Then we will go to the cost structure. Major cost drivers you see: direct wages, maintenance, warehousing, the finance cost, overdraft utilization, and the fixed admin cost, right? Under transfer pricing also we discuss about that particular cost component, right? Then you see the important insight, right? 50% of direct wages and maintenance are fixed in transport division. We discussed them. Then the TD capacity only at 60% can go to 85%, and then also 50% remaining. That means when it comes to capacity, they have 100% capacity. No, the planned capacity is 85%, right? Now currently they are running at what? 60%. Even though they achieve their planned capacity, again 15% remaining. Then you can DD division can utilize it. No? If transport division has 100% external demand, definitely another 15% is available. Another 15% is available for DD division as well, right? This means marginal cost of additional businesses business is low, crystal clear that, right? Then high operating leverage opportunity is also there, right? Then there is also that is under what the business canvas. Now you see each and everything we discuss in the classroom. Only thing you take those whatever the discussion into this particular small piece of paper. Right now, before discuss, then okay with right? Now we analyze what is the business canvas model, what is meant by key partnership, who are the key partners, who are our main customers, what are our channels and all things. Now we identify the strength and weaknesses as well. Now we need to redesign it after identifying what weaknesses and whatever the strength and weaknesses, inefficiencies and risk especially, we need to redesign this business model. That is the purpose of this. First of all, you are seeing this one as a whole, holistic picture. This is what in my business. After that, you need to, then now you have a set of understanding of what is meant by this, what are the strengths and weaknesses, what are the inefficiencies and risk. Now you identify. Last step is what? Redesign. Addressing what? Those inefficiencies and risk. You need to redesign your business model. That is known as business model canvas. Oh, don't worry. I will be discussing them as well very quickly. Now tell me if you have any question. Confirm whether you understood this one or not. Or if you have any question, you can ask before going forward.
Clear, sir.
Clear, no? How about others? Please confirm whether you are okay with this one. I video බැලුවේ නැහැ දැන් බෑ මට බැරි වුණා busy වුණා ඕනම් කියන්න එපා.
Okay, sir.
Okay, no? Yes, how about Ripunika? Are you okay with this one, Sanjeev?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay, sir. Okay,
Excellent.
sir.
Then fine. No, I'm not going to ask each and everyone. Yes, 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 yes. No, when I'm asking, please give a thumbs up. Because I know you are under pressure. I'm not under pressure. Man kita mang pressure එකේ ඉන්නේ ඕගොල්ලන්ට වැඩිය exam එකකින්ද, right? Anyway, we will go through the examination. These days I'm receiving so many calls, but anyway I answered, right? I never missed any calls or message, right? I answered any questions also. When suggested answer there is a slight mistake, right? Don't worry about that one when calculating the depreciation, right? I have given them in whatever the class discussion very clearly. When you have a scrap value, please consider it as what the final year cash inflow. And when you are going to calculate the depreciation, cost minus scrap value divided by useful lifetime. Unfortunately, whatever the scrap value is missing when you calculate the depreciation, please leave it, because you have the concept. That is the mistake in the whatever the suggested answer, right? Sorry for the mistake as well, the slight mistake. Right, now we will go to the next discussion. දැන් මතක තියාගන්න විභාගෙට ආවත් ඔය ටික ලියලා හරියන්නේ නැහැ. දැන් මේ කතා කරපු ටික අපි කතා කරේ මොකද්ද? මොකද්ද මේ බිස්නස් canvas model එක කියලා කියන්නේ? ඒකේ තියෙන component මොනවද? අපේ තියෙන strength and weaknesses මොනවද? මොනවාද අපිට තිබ්බ inefficiencies, මොනවාද අපිට තිබ්බ risk ඔච්චරයි. දැන් අපි යම් බලන්න කොහොමද ඒක කරන්න කියලා. Right? We will see. This is the highly important thing when it comes to right, deep current situation analysis. Right? Here also critical issues we have highlighted. Right? Again, now you have learned them, right? Now you have learned them, but you need to you need to refresh. Sometimes some people, whatever the people are working actually, some people inform that they are unable to participate in the discussion, thinking that this is the reason. Anyway, if you are there in the class, I will be uploading this one to whatever the I will be sharing the video. Then you can watch these videos as well, because I know these videos are watching almost all people, almost all whatever the student who are facing the CMA case study tomorrow. Then I will be sharing it very quickly. Right now we will complete this one. I will be going through very whatever the speed චුට්ටක් වැඩි ඇති, but unfortunately I want to release you as soon as possible. That is my purpose. Right, you see the cash flow, whatever the constraint is there, negative network capital at company level. You can identify, you calculate it also. Overdraft 100% utilized, banking pressure increasing, the banking pressure also increasing, underutilized TD capacity can reach 85%, but again remaining 15% they can utilize for the TD division, right? TD division can utilize that particular remaining 15% also. Then fixed cost absorption opportunities also. Then internal transfer pricing opportunity with the whatever the distribution division. We discuss how it works, internal transfer pricing also, right? Working capital inefficiencies, distribution division, high receivables, no EAR based credit discount analysis. දැන් කවුරු හරි ඉන්නවා නම් මෙතන EAR කියන්නේ මොකක්ද කියලා කල්පනා කරන, that will be a huge problem, right? That will be a huge problem when it comes to the EAR based credit discount analysis, right? දැන් මෙතන EAR උත් දැන් පොඩ්ඩක් අමාරුයි නම් something has happened, right? Then the inventory not classified, no ABC, that means no, in simply you can say no scientific inventory management system in the business. දැන් නම් කේස් එකක් මම හිතන්නේ කටපාඩම් වෙලා ඇත්තේ තියෙන ප්‍රශ්න ටිකයි උත්තර ටිකයි ඔක්කොම. Anyway, ultimately what the my ultimate my happiness is some of you, right, one of you must obtain subject prize. Other than that, no one in the classroom who failed in the classroom, right? That is my whatever the I'm focus on that one, more than 40 hours discussion. That is why we did. Remember, දැන් හරි මතක් කරගන්න ඕන අමතක කරන්න ටච් කරලා පොත පෙළලා බලා ගන්න ඕන. Poor finance oversight historically. Now I am not going to explain this one because it will be time wasting repeating the same thing again and again. I am not going to discuss. Then you see the leadership deficiencies also there. We discuss lot, right? Analysis one purely based on leadership, whatever the strategies. Let's say transactional leadership, that is the leadership style now they people are using. Then silo mentality, divisional favorism also there, short term profit after tax, then the no integrated strategic thinking. Those are the issues we identified. Now just leave it, right? Just leave it. Those are the critical issues. Remember, those are the critical issues. Under strategic issues we discuss almost all things under strategic issues and how to overcome it, right? How to overcome it. Now you see here SWOT analysis integrated, that means all together the both divisions. Strength, established brand, right? Generational reputation, vertical integration knowledge, SPU structure, professional finance controller, growing industry sector, etc. දැන් මෙතන එකක් හරි මෙතන ඔක්කොම නැහැ. මිස්සිලා තියෙන ටික කෙලිම ඇනලිසිස් එකෙන් ඇදලා දාන්න. මේකට කෙලිම ගන්න. Go to the respective analysis. You can collect whatever the component in analysis and take into the whatever the business model. මේ ඔක්කොම ලියන්න එපා, right? If it is tested, I think it is for a 25 marks. 25 marks, right? If the examiner is enjoying with you, that means it can be tested for a 40 marks, right? But I don't think that. Maximum 25 marks, right? Anyway, ලකුණු ටික බලලා ඒකට වෙලාව වෙන් කරලා ඒ ප්‍රමාණයට ලියුවම ඇති. Right? මෙතන දීලා තියෙන that is a holistic picture for you. Right? Weaknesses, let's say weak cash flow, lean capital, divisional silos, lack of leadership and no digital systems, high receivables. Those are the weaknesses. Then the opportunities, post-COVID construction growth, internal TD/DD integration, capacity utilization. Now when it comes to the internal TD, okay, that's opportunity. You can consider that one as opportunity. Otherwise, we can take into the whatever the strength as well. When it comes to the internal ගැන කතා කරනවා opportunity වල තියන්න නැතුව ගන්න ගොඩක් වෙලාවට මේ මොකටද strength වලට, right? Capacity utilization increase, then the working capital optimization, digital logistics systems, value added transport services. Those are the opportunity at a glance. But when it comes to working capital currently, when it comes to working capital, optimization will be opportunity, but the working capital issues will be what? This weaknesses, under weaknesses. ඔයා කියනවා නම් working capital ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවා කියලා ඒක weaknesses එකක්. මේ working capital එක optimize කරන්න පුළුවන් කියලා කියනවා, that will be opportunity, right? Please divide it into those two areas. Then digital logistics systems and value added transport services, those are the opportunities that are available for you, right? Remember that one also. Here also capacity utilization increase, that is opportunity is available. Now underutilization is your weakness, right? Your weakness. දැන් මෙතන කියන්නේ opportunity එකනේ. capacity එක වැඩි කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඒක opportunity එක. Under utilization capacity, that is your weakness. කන හරියට ලියන්න ඕන දෙපැත්තට දාලා. Right. Threat, let's say banking, let's say interest rate pressure, the competitive efficiency, economic volatility and family governance risk. Those are the threat, right? දැන් මේවටත් අමතරව ඔයා threat ටිකක් ඉගෙන ගත්තා. මම මෙතන comprehensively ඔයාලට කියලා දෙන්න ඕන හින්දා තමයි මේ SWOT analysis එක මම මේක දාලා තියෙන්නේ මෙතන. Right? නැත්නම් මට මේක simply we can skip, but ultimately this should be a perfect one. No? That is why I have added here as well. Right? Now let's say when it comes to the strategic improvement to the business model, this is the redesign. Now again I refresh your knowledge, right? Under business model, business canvas model, what you did first, you identify key components. That means the 9 areas in business, whatever the building blocks, right? We can know this one as the blocks. That is the building blocks. Then secondly, you identify the strength and weaknesses. Third, you can realize that one strategic alignment between those areas. The next one will be next one was what you identified inefficiencies and risk. Fourth one will be redesign. This is how you are going to do redesigning phase in business model canvas, right? ඔක්කොම දැන් අඳුරගත්තනේ weaknesses මේවා inefficiencies මේවා ඒ ටික අඳුරගත්තට පස්සේ මෙතනදී වා කරන්න යන්නේ මොකද්ද redesign කරන්න. business model එක ආයෙ redesign කරනවා. That is what right? Expectation from you, right? Currently තියෙන එක කොහොමද බලලා දාගන්න තියෙන්නේ. That is not a big deal, but this is here. You see, integrate TD division and DD, we discuss them under synergy, strategic synergy. You see, instead of outsourcing DD transport, oh, that is crystal clear. Internal transfer pricing, increase TD capacity utilization from 60 to 85. That is possible, no? That is possible because now currently at 60, you can increase it up to 85%. Then absorb fixed cost and improve company-wide EBIT. Improve company-wide, remember, not divisional wise. As a whole, you can take as earning before interest and tax. This creates cost advantage. By doing these strategic improvement in whatever the business canvas model, you can take this advantages. It creates cost advantage, margin expansion, and internal cash flow improvement. Right, internal cash flow improvement. Then rationalize working capital, right? Critical priority, receivable strategy. You see the rationalize working capital. Now we see what is the strategy. Credit scoring. Before giving them on credit basis, first of all, you are evaluating credit worthiness. If it is okay, you are going to sell. Otherwise, you are not going to sell. Credit score එක හදලා credit score එකට අනුව හිතනවා ලකුණු 85ට වැඩි ගත්තොත් තමයි මම එයාට sell එක කරන්නේ. ඊට වැඩි අඩු නම් sell එක කරන්නේ. එහෙනම් 85ට වැඩි කියලා කියන්නේ එයාට ගෙවන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙනම් අර ගෙවන්න බැරි කට්ටියට විකුණන්නේ නැහැ කියන එකයි කියන්නේ. Cash discount based on AER analysis, then the segment retail by risk, then reduce credit period selectively. Right? Impact, what is the impact? Reduce CCC, cash conversion cycle. That means you are going to, debtor collection period is there. Now you are getting higher debtor collection period. Now you are going to reduce it up to acceptable low level. Right? Then reduce overdraft dependency, right? Automatically, when you are increasing your whatever the cash conversion cycle, if you have a cash surplus, automatically what? You are not going to deal with overdraft dependency because you have additional cash. You can invest them in a short-term investment, like a fixed deposit on the money market account. You can have money, right? Then improve to bank confidence as well, because now you have to convince your banker. Now you see, I am in a position that I can repay your loan. You need to show it. You need to convince the bank. To convince the bank, you can use this particular improved bank confidence as well. You need to remember that also, right? Then the inventory strategy. The making එක කතා කරන්න පහලට. Now you see the inventory strategy, ABC analysis we discuss, EOQ analysis we discuss, economic order quantity, that is the place where what? තොග සම්බන්ධ මුළු පිරිවැය අවමන මට්ටම තමයි ආර්ථික නැවුම් ප්‍රමාණය කියලා කියන්නේ. මොනවාද තොග සම්බන්ධ වෙන මුළු පිරිවැය කියලා අපි ඉගෙන ගත්තේ? රඳවා ගැනීමේ පිරිවැය සහ නැවුම් කිරීමේ පිරිවැය. Now you understood that one. Slow moving stock review. You are going to conduct age analysis. We discuss in whatever the separate analysis. You are going to conduct age analysis, and what you are going to do? You are identifying the slow moving stock also. Then finance led inventory planning. That is crystal clear. What is the impact of this? These are the further improvement. These are the suggestions from your end as a financial controller of the management account. Now you are almost members of CMA. Like I know, right? In the very short time period, I can have some messages that got passed, got through likewise. Now let's say these are your suggestions. By doing this, you can get this. That is the purpose. You see, reduce stock holding. That means you are going to reduce your holding cost. Improved liquidity. That means you are going to reduce actually here also inventory resident period also. Now you know inventory resident period plus debtor collection period minus creditor settlement is your cash conversion cycle. When you are going to reduce inventory resident period and the debtor collection period, definitely what? Your cash conversion cycle, that means it will have a cash surplus, not deficit. Then the better forecasting, that is also fine. I am not going to explain those whatever the minor things here. Then this leadership transformation, very important when it comes to your case study. This is what you see, transactional leadership. Now don't ask what is meant by transactional leadership and etc. I am not going to answer those silly questions at the final stage, right? Right? Divisional favorism is also there. Then the monthly profit after tax obeisance is there, right? Monthly profit after tax obeisance is also there. These are the move from. මේ වගේ තමයි ඉන්නේ. මේ වගේ move වෙලා කොහෙටද යන්නේ? Right? ඒක තේරුම් ගන්න මේ move from කියලා කියන්නේ දැන් ඉන්නේ transactional leadership එකේ ඒකෙන් අයින් වෙන්න කියලා කියන්නේ. එහෙනම් කොහෙටද යන්නේ? Strategic leadership. You are not going to only focus on operational activities. You are going to think about future as well. What is the strategies that you are going to use? how you are going to achieve your vision and mission. That is what we are going to focus here. How you are going to manage your resources, how we are going to think. That means strategic thinking we learned. I have given you strategic, whatever the strategy as design, the strategy as what experience, the strategy as ideas. I have given them as a reading materials. I ask you to go through them, right? I hope you have gone through them, right? Then the integrated broad thinking, right? Then balanced scorecard approach. We have discussed balanced scorecard approach, and we not only discuss, we link balanced scorecard approach to the key performance indicators as well. Then you learn the critical success factors as well. Now culture driven management also we learn. That is the place where you are going to reduce your whatever the internal conflict between divisions, right? Now you can talk about what the Herzberg two-factor theory, one of the predictable area in the examination in this type. Then you see the implement, right? Joint strategic planning session, cost divisional KPIs, incentive based on company-wide profit after tax, not divisional based. Then ROCE, that means return on capital employed based performance metrics. Those are the implementation. Now you see redesign revenue model. I will be discussing, right? I will be giving you to time, ask question and all thing. Now I will be explaining. Now මතක් කරගන්න අමතක වෙලා තියෙන දේවල් දැන් මම මතක් කරගන්න ඕන, right? මොකද මම මේක දැන් ටක් ගාලා දාන්නත් ඕන ක්ලාස් එකකට join වෙන්න බැරි කට්ටියටත් බලන්න, right? So there will be, some people asking this is a prediction or whatever. Then I have to say, because this kind of revision, that is why I make a මතක් කර යන්නේ. මොකද මට මේක එක පැත්තකින් මේ මොඩල් එක කරන්න ඕන, අනිත් පැත්තෙන් මට කරන්න ඕන revision එකක් වගේ මේක මතක් කරගන්න. That is my purpose today. Now you see the redesign revenue model, long term transport contracts, right? Premium guaranteed delivery service, premium guaranteed, right? Construction project based fleet allocation. You are going to allocate one fleet for the construction, only for the construction. You cannot use those. I think you have seen ready mix machine. Sun ready mix scale රවුමක් කරක් අර බද මේ මොනවාද කොන්ක්‍රීට් එක හදන්නේ වහන යන ගමන් කොන්ක්‍රීට් එක හැදලා නියමිත ප්‍රමිතියට හැදෙනවා, right? Likewise ඔක vehicle එකක් නේ. ඒක කොහෙවත් හදන warehouse එකක් නෙවෙයි vehicle එකක්. You can use those kind of what are the vehicle when it comes to the constructions. That is what it says. Vendor manage inventory per key retailers. Just leave it. Then the shift from volume based model to value based model. You are not going to increase your volume, right? දැන් ඒක තමයි අර ඕවර් ට්‍රේඩින් කියන එක බලා ගන්න. ඕවර් ට්‍රේඩින් කියන එක නිකන් අයිඩියා එක තියාගන්න තමන්ගේ අර කරන්ට් තියෙන කැපැසිටි එකටත් වැඩි සේල්ස් කරනවා. ඒතර ඒ වගේ එකක් කරන්නේ ආයේ ක්‍රෙඩිට් ඇනලිසිස් එකක් කරන්නේ නැහැ. ඔහේ සේල්ස් කරනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ වොලියුම් එක වැඩි කරගන්න නෙමෙයි වැලියු බේස් එකක් තමයි කරන්න කියන්නේ. වොලියුම් you are not going to try the increase your volume, right? Increase your volume, the value base, right? Whether it is created value to your business or not, because ultimately you are going to increase your sales, right? As much as possible you are going to increase your sales. At the end of the day you have nothing actually. Why I am saying that you have nothing, right? Sale පුළුවන් තරම් sale ටික කරනවා. හැබැයි ණය ටික දුන්නාට පස්සේ ණය ටික collect වෙන්නේ. Then you people are facing some difficulties in running the business, working capital issues. ඒක තමයි මෙතන කියන්නේ volume based යන්න එපා කියලා. පුළුවන් තරම් ණයට දීලා revenue එක වැඩි කරලා වැඩක් නැහැ. අන්තිමේදී ඒක collect වෙන්නේ නැත්තම්. Then you are facing whatever the working capital issues in the business. Then you see the capital structure strategies. Now you see asset backed refinancing, sales and lease back of vehicle. මේව මම කියලා තියෙනවා. දැන් තියෙන වාහන ටික විකුණලා ඉවරලා කාට හරි යාටම කියන මොකද්ද? මට ඒක lease එකට දෙන්න කියලා. ඔයාට සල්ලිත් හම්බ වෙනවා. වාහනේත් තියෙනවා business එකේ. මාසෙට ගෙවන lease payment එක විතරයි යන්නේ. I think you may remember. The strategic investor equity injection, working capital restructuring, right? Then the reduced overdraft pressure. Those are the things that you need to discuss under capital structure strategies, right? Then governance reform, right? We need to talk about the governance reform as well, because since this is a family business, now you need to talk about the formal broad structure, independent director, right? Formal family governance charter, and the clear role separation, managing director and chief executive officer, right? Those things you need to do. Please add some governance point here. That is more than enough, right? And the material that. Now you see redesign business model canvas, right? Now I am not going to create in detail business canvas here. Now you are understood what we are going to do and what is the purpose of it, right? You see redesign business model, customer segment, when it comes to customer segments segmented by profitability and credit risk. Now you can do that on based on the risk you have identified that on whether high risk, low risk or medium risk, or otherwise based on the profitability, higher profitability or low profitability, or otherwise let's say profitability or non-profitability. You can segment your customers. It will be easier for you because based on the credit risk is very high. Then you know there is a risk in recovering this particular amount, right? Then the value proposition, integrated logistic plus distribution solution. Then the channels at digital ordering and tracking. We discuss on the digital roadmap, right? I think the last class that is also available free of charge at the YouTube as well, because that is there in the YouTube, but a lot of people are watching them, right? Very happy about that one as well, right? But you must do this one, right? Because you are the people who are whatever they attend the classes and doing your studies, you must do this. Then channels, okay, I discuss relationship, structured loyalty with measurable return on investment. That is totally fine. Revenue streams, transport, contract, premium services, then distribution margins and value-added logistics. Now, I already explained these things. Then key resources, optimize fleet, financial intelligence, and integrated data. I told you that on how you're going to use the big data analytics as well. Right? When it comes to big data, you need to analyze the data and how you are going to make a decision based on big data. Because raw data, you identify the under data mining, you are identifying whatever the hidden pattern of raw data. Then you are converting your raw data into meaningful information. Then based on meaningful information, you are going to make decision on the company. Then you see the key activities: working capital optimization, cross divisional planning, strategic capacity management. You need to do this one: working capital optimization, cross divisional planning, rather than isolated two departments. Then you are going to combine together. That means not the combination of this one, we have the cross divisional planning, right? Transferring resources and strategies and etc. Performance evaluation, those things. Then cost structure, you see higher fixed absorption, then lower financing cost and improved margin leverage. Now that is what we discussed. Then the 8th point, priority ranking of issues. When it comes to the issues, you need to identify the priority. First one is cash flow and working capital. Then TD capacity utilization, leadership integration, incentive redesign, and inventory rationalization and digitalization. Right. 9th one, final strategic outlook is GST is not a declining company. Right. After analyzing this whole analysis, you can identify this is not a declining company. Right. It is structurally strong, right? Financially strained and strategically underlaid. Then if the brothers, not we, the brothers means whatever the Derek and Travis, right? Embrace integrated leadership, implement financial discipline, increase capacity utilization, and reform working capital management. You need to think, right? Then GST can move from survival mode, control growth model, and competitive advantage mode, right? Survival mode, then control growth mode, and competitive advantage mode. This is the place where they are generating what? Competitive advantage, right? Sustainable competitive advantage. Right, with this one, the conclusion, what will be our conclusion on the business model analysis? The business model canvas reveals GST's problem is not market viability, right? It is capital efficiency, strategic cohesions. ඒ කියන්නේ මේ strategic cohesions කියලා කියන්නේ හැම division එකක්ම achieve කරන්න ඕන organize GST vision and mission. Remember that one. All people are together to achieve this one. Same strategic picture. You need to understand here. Actually, I'm unable to draw your attention on this one by page, saying the page number. I'm having the whatever the printout. Then when it comes to the strategic picture, strategic priorities, then strategic value. Right, that means that is the place where you are going to reduce your internal conflict between two divisions. You need to understand them first. Then leadership maturity also a problem. Now you see, when compared to previous leadership and the current leadership role, that is too different, right? When my analysis one, it is clearly identified. If you see, they are not matured. That is why they are focusing on the operational and isolated in the business. When the Mark and George, they people are running the business, we cannot identify them, no, because each and every analysis we analyze leadership, transformational, transactional, situational, and what Lake and Mountain 9 grid also. Then all points we identify that one. The George and whatever the previous leadership was strong. Actually, was strong compared to new one. You see, with strong financial restructuring and integrated strategic thinking. Now, don't ask what is meant by strategic thinking. I have shared them, and GST has a high probability of sustainable long-term growth. That is what the final conclusion of this business model, right? This is what the business model. You see, all thing you learn, learn in the classroom. The only new thing is you are going to visually present that one in a way under this 9, whatever the headings. This is what you are going to do. Under this one, if I going to focus your attention on this one again, right? This is the holistic view of the business. You are not going to see only finance, only operational, only customers. This is the holistic picture. As a whole, you are going to look at the business and identify what is the current situation, right? Because now you know the current situation as well, because you did SWOT analysis, pestle analysis, and the Fortress 5 process also. In the mock paper one also, you had a question that what is evaluate a strategic position. Then you do that, then you compared it with what suggested solution as well. Then we will see, that's all, right? Then basically it supports to what financial transformation, right? That means the leadership transformation, entering into new market, that means market development. And financial stress, you can refrain from your financial stress, right? That means the loan and how you are going to pay loan and all things. Then changing kind of the leadership role, right? The transactional to transformational and strategic visionary leaders. Then that's all. Then the seeking investors, and other thing is the digitalization, right? To do this particular transformational changes, right? You can have a good understanding about this particular strategic, that means business model canvas, right? Now tell me if you have any question, or if you have any question or whatever, please tell me, then I will be explaining it again. And tell me whether you understood or not this one. This is the discussion of business model canvas. Right, Aruni, are you okay with this one? Because you told me that one, the way how you are going to understand this one also, right? I think, hope you're okay with this.
Yes, sir. Very clear. Thank you, sir.
Okay, then fine. How about others? Any question?
Clear, sir. Thank you.
Clear. Yes, Nipunika, you are asking question, or you are going to say you are also okay with this one?
Clear, sir. Clear.
Excellent, right? That means, right? Fortunately, right, we have completed. I think that now I think it is very closer to 50 hours. I think, I guess, right? I am not going to count 4 hours, 3 hours together, but my gut feeling says that one, because I am the person who did this. No, very close to 50 hours. Then you analyze the case from A to Z, right? Now, please be confident enough in the examination hall. First advice is, in the reading time, don't try to answer the questions. What you are going to do is, please reading the question. First of all, you have to read the requirement. Based on the requirement, you can identify what is the most, whatever the I would say, you can order, right? Well, what question you are going to write answer first, then two second. That means please select a question that you can perform well, because you need to impress examiner, right? Then I told you in the individually I have given whatever the instruction. Please use this one methods. You need to follow that one as well. Concern on the time management. Sometimes, let's say let's say there will be a question on the business model canvas. You know everything. Don't write everything. Huh? First of all, time management is also there. Basically, that is not actually required, but as a benchmark, now you know 3 hours, right? 180 minutes. Then per one marks 1.8, whatever the minutes. Then you can see if it is 25 marks, 25 multiplied by 1.8. Now this is the allocated time. අන්න එහෙම බෙන්ච්මාර්ක් එකක් තියාගන්න. එතකොට දන්නවා මේ ටයිම් පීරියඩ් එක ඇතුළේ නැත්නම් එක ප්‍රශ්නයක් ලියයි පැය එකමාරක් විතර. ඒකේ ලකුණු 25 හරි 30 හරි හම්බ වෙයි. Then you have to complete remaining 75% within 1.5 hours. That is the base where you are wasting your time, right? Then when it comes to the report format also, I have given instructions, right, how to do the report formatting as well. Therefore, I am not going to talk a lot, because I have to release you as soon as possible, and I need to upload this particular videos as well for those who did not come to the class. I don't know whether the people will have time to discuss, watch this one later or not. Anyway, before 1 minute also, I will be available for you when it comes to the examination. I think I wish you all the best for your success, and please do your best. And I will actually, I'm confident enough that this time definitely there will be a subject prize winner in the classroom, right? No doubt on that one, right? Other people also, I don't like to see any whatever the whatever the failures in the classroom. I wish you all the best, and please be confident enough, right? Trust yourself. This is not whatever my effort and my abilities and all things. This is for you, right? I will be providing whatever the guidelines, and I will be supporting you, and I hope I did a reasonable job, right? I did a reasonable job for your whatever the journey, and then wish you all the best and goodbye, and wish you all the best for your whatever the examination, and good luck.